get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe, let's get it. Let's go. Man, that jump was crazy, man. Grant took off on him. Right there by the microwave, this word doozy. Man, what's up? We gotta fight. Man, we gotta fight, man. You tripping, man. You put your hands on me, man. This word, this Sally was in there. He didn't even know what Sally is. He was like, man, let me get in here, man. Sally came out. I was like, what's wrong with you? He was like, man, this man just put his head. Greg, I looked at Greg. Greg was looking like a pit bull. He was like, dude was like, yo, man, come in here. Man, you wanna put your hands on me? Greg was like, Greg had his cut to the dude. This word, Greg went up in that joint. That's all you heard. Boom, boom. Somebody was going crazy. Somebody was going crazy. I get a little closer to the door. Man, I looked up. I seen Greg just Greg doing them dirty old head like this. He trying to block them jumps. Too many coming. I was like, oh my God. So they was in that jump. I see a dude that knew Greg. He was like, Greg, that's enough. That's enough, Greg. Come on, Greg, that's enough, man. Let it go. That's enough, Greg. Let it go, man. Let it go. Greg was like, Greg came out the cell. Greg was like, man, keep my baby name out your mouth, man. What's wrong with you, man? I don't know you, man. Don't be pulling up on me, man. Don't be coming talk about none of that stuff, man. What's your problem, man? You got me messed up, man. What's wrong with you, man? I was like, oh my God. Greg went up steps like this. He went up steps like he was jogging. He still had his stamina and everything. He was like, went in his cell. I was like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, the whole time I'm watching that, like I'm on edge. When he stole on him in the pod, I'm telling y'all, man, y'all should have seen me, man. I almost spit my drink out. Man, the man stole on the man in the pod after I gave him $200. I couldn't believe it, man, but from the grace of God, nobody saw it. He get away with the punch and he got away with the fight, man. So the dude, Selly, going there to see what's going on with his Selly that just got his butt whooped. He in the joint checking on him. So the dude just like, messed up everything. So everybody like, dang, yo, Greg just put that work in like that. So everybody like, what they fighting for? One dude was like, yo. Dude was like, I don't know. Dude say, he know Greg girl. He was like, yo, he messed with Freaky Tish. So everybody was like, what? Like, man, that's crazy. Greg wife up a freak, man. He was like, yo, dude, no, he from the same city as her. So I'm like, man, that's wild. So he punished dude. So I was like, man, I go upstairs the long way. I take this way. They get to Greg's cell. I didn't go up the steps. So he went up. I went up the other joint. I had to go check. I was like, he was like, yo. I was like, bro, you gotta be easy, bro. I said, bro, we gotta play and bro, I ain't got $200 to throw away, bro. He was like, yeah, I know, Weezy, but look, ain't nobody gonna talk about my baby, man. I love her, Weezy. I love her. I said, I get that, bro, but like, and I don't know why I said this. I was like, yo, bro, like, how you gonna love somebody you never seen before? He was like, he looked up at me like, what you mean by that? I'm like, bro, I'm just saying, like, old head knew her. You know what I mean? So like, you don't know her, bro. So like, you can't be beating dudes up if they know the joint you talking to, bro. He was like, yeah, you right, but still though, like, he disrespecting me. He don't know me. He moving in the pod, just talking crazy, man. I don't know that old head. I'm like, bro, listen, I get it, but like, still though, bro, you wigged out, bro. I was like, you went bananas, bro. You went crazy on him in that joint, man. He was like, no, bro, man, that joint crazy though, Weezy, man. Look, I was like, man, look, man, we gotta get this tobacco, bro. Like, you gotta chill, bro. He was like, man. His phone must have vibrated. He was like, that's how old dudes open flip phones. Be like, he was like, hey, baby. I guess she was like, why you breathing that hard? He was like, man, I just had to beat somebody up, man. Man, some dude that say he know you. I guess she was like, oh. He was like, man, I don't know who this dude is, man. He told me you a freak, man. Yeah, man, I born on, yeah. Yeah, you know I did it, yeah. I took care of him. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, he lucky they broke it up, man. I guess she was like, is he still in the pod? He was like, yeah, he's still downstairs. Yeah. I'm gonna chill out. Yeah, I'm gonna chill out. Yeah, Weezy up here talking to me now. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna call you back though, man. I love you, man. Look, I do anything for you, man. Remember that. Remember that. That's how you hold the phone up. I'm like, I'll do anything for you, man. Like, I'm not knocking how your relationship's supposed to be with another person when you locked up and they on the street. Like, I mean, like I told y'all in the beginning, like people fall in love easy. Like this is just the natural things that happen in prison. Like people are gonna fall in love fast and easy, man. I'm telling you, man. Like, it takes a couple letters, a couple phone calls, a visit or two, somebody acting like they like you and all of that. And next thing you know, you're gonna be thinking that's your girl, even though she's not. She's not your girl, bro. But at the end of the day, this is how it happens in prison, like I be telling y'all, man. So Greg, like, he's serious about this lady. You know what I mean? He hasn't even seen this lady, man. But this is who he's talking to on the phone every night. This is who he's looking at her pictures every night. He's getting everything out of her. Like, this, you know, he's in love, man. So, like, I ain't trying to change his mind about being in love. But, like, it was just, that joke just kind of threw me off a little bit, though, man. Like, I don't know. Like, he just beat the old head up without answers. Like, if someone would have pulled up on me and be like, yo, man, the girl you talking to that you met in prison is a freak. I'd be like, yo, bro, how you know she a freak? I would want to know more information. How she a freak, man? For real, man, the whole football team. God dang, man, she go crazy like that. She's a monster. So, boom. I still would have played my role. I wouldn't have brought it to her and be like, yo, you know, somebody told me you was messing with the whole town. No, you don't do that, man. You keep that person copacetic, just like how you got to keep everything in prison copacetic, man. You don't want to upset her. Why? She holding you down, right? She's answering the phone. She's telling you she love you. She's sending you pictures. That's a lot that another inmate don't have. A lot of inmates don't have access to a situation like that. So I'm telling bro, I'm like, yo, look, when I talk to him again, I say, yo, look, man. I say, yo, bro, listen. Like, bro, like, I know you love Shorty. I know y'all rocking, but like, bro, she's not worth it, bro. Like that, bro. Like, come on, bro. Just use your mind, bro. Think. Greg didn't even look like a stupid dude. Like, when a dude be extra official, man, I'm telling you, I don't, like, it always be like that. I'll meet a dude that's always official. Crazy official, man. But his weakest attribute, he fall for women fast, y'all. Super fast. So, boom. So I guess this is what Greg's problem is, man. Because other than that, I had no complaints, man. But I'm talking to him. He act like he listening. He like, yeah, you right, bro. Yeah, you right, bro. Like, look, we got to keep getting money. I was like, bro, listen. If you don't get no money, you ain't going to be able to keep that girl, man. And you know it. He was like, yeah, true. I was like, I know it's true, bro. I said, bro, you fall off, bro. She going to the next dude. He was like, I mean, I don't know about that, but still, though, you know, I take care of bills, so she needs me. So I'm like, that's another reason why you can't be out here wilding, man. So I said, man, what you need to do, bro? I said, man, you need to get yourself together. I said, let it cool off tonight. Let some time go by, and then you need to go back and holler at that old head, man. I said, because this is not an enemy of yours, man. I said, this man know the girl that you saying you love. I said, you grew up around that girl? He was like, no. I said, you live in the town where that girl live at? He was like, no. I said, man, well, do you know her siblings? He was like, no. I said, bro, well, this is the time where you supposed to got information, bro. This wasn't a time to beat dude up. I said, man, look, man, you get that tobacco tomorrow, bro. I said, man, throw that man some tobacco and go down there and apologize. He was like, I was like, bro, for real, bro. For one, you don't want to have him sneaking you and mess the play up. You don't want to have that happen, bro. I said, just tell him you overreacted, bro. Apologize and throw him some hate, man. He was like, I ain't saying you right, Weezy, man, but, man, like, bro, I don't play about my baby, though, Weezy, man. I don't play about her, Weezy, man. I love her, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, shh. Bro, listen, I ain't gonna do with that, bro. Like, I just gave you the good advice. You can do it or not. I said, either way, I just want that tobacco to play, bro. I ain't, you know what I mean? Like, after that, you can do what you want. He was like, no, like, I'm listening, though. I'm just, man, that junk crazy. I'm like, bro, look, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, man, I'm about to go talk to my baby, bro. I was like, all right, I just let him go, y'all. So, boom. He went back, talked on the phone to his baby. So, I guess he was on the phone all day. I see the old head. Old head was in the room the whole day, nighttime and everything. So, he sleep right by the microwave. So, I guess he felt like, let me sneak out. He threw a skull cap on him. He sneaked to the microwave, you know what I mean? Old head took his beating. You know what I mean? He took his beating. I guess he was like, yo, I'm not fighting dude again. He was like, yo, you want some more of me, old man? No, like, I guarantee you that's what he was thinking, man, because Greg went in there. When I looked in the cell, man, Greg was just hitting him like a punching bag. Boom, 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 boom. Old head was like this, just taking blows. I'm like, that junk crazy. So I already knew the old head didn't want no more beef. He didn't want no more beef, man. So he took the walk to the microwave, which wasn't far. But, like, I thought it wasn't my place to kind of like go to him and say something like that. You know what I mean? See what's going on. But all those dudes from the outskirts, like even Petersburg, they're not really from the outskirts, but like, you know, like Franklin, Dinwiddie, Chesterfield, like a whole bunch of outskirts towns and stuff like that. A lot of those dudes really are trying to like talk to people like that. So when I look, I see my roommate just getting off the payphone, and he see the old dude. So I see him stop the dude, and he's talking to the dude. So when I seen him talking to the dude, that's what made me kind of walk over there. So when I walk over there, my roommate got a little smile on his face. He's like, yeah, man, look, he live in the town right beside me and stuff. He was like, yeah, man, like, he a little too far from where I grew up at, you know what I mean? He was like, yeah, he used to live in Dope. He was like, man, he used to live in Dopewell. He used to live in Dopewell, man, you know what I mean? So we might be cousins. He was like, 'cause I had family in Dopewell. I was like, what's Dopewell? But I forgot they nicknamed it Dopewell, but it's Hopewell. Hopewell is like on the outskirts of Petersburg. I'm telling y'all, it's like a lot of towns everywhere in Virginia. So he tell me that. So they right there talking, so I walk up on the jump. I was like, yo, so they talking, and I'm right there. So he like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, man, fixing the soup. He like, yeah. And so dude, my roommate still talking. So my roommate was like, yo, man, why would you come straight in here and call somebody girl a freak, man? You just moved in the pod. What was you thinking? He was like, I won't think it. I won't think it, man. And then he can fight. I mean, I'm gonna fight, but I'm not a fighter. I'm gonna fight. But I'm not a fighter, man. But, you know, I take my eyes and move on. My eye hurt, you know. It's all good. It's all good. So my roommate was like, yo, so, like, answer the question. Why would you do that, though, bro? Like, you know this girl like that? He was like, do I know her? Man, listen, man. I was like, man, listen, look, before you say anything else, I'm letting you know now. I rock with dude. I got a situation going on with dude. But at the same time, though, man, like, don't be saying no false information about the dude girl, man. I said, man, he really love this lady. I said, if you don't want no more problems, I don't suggest you say nothing stupid right this moment. I said, because I rock with dude. He was like, it ain't nothing stupid, man. He was like, I just, you know, when I got in the pods, the dude told me that he messed with Tish, man. He said, I know her whole family, man. They're freaks, man. He was like, man, everybody got kids in the family. Everybody, even the little young girls. The one that's 15, 16, they got kids, man. He was like, everybody active, man. He was like, look, man, I don't see what he's seeing her for real. I was like, what? What you mean you don't see what he's seeing her, man? I was like, man, listen, man. She's a beautiful lady, man. I was like, you wildin'. I was like, even with kids, man. I was like, I would mess with her with kids. I was like, she beautiful, man. He was like, beautiful? He was like, what y'all looking at? I was like, man, listen, man, chill, man. I was like, he just kept going. I was like, man, look, relax, man. Like, he was like, nah, like, I want to see what y'all looking at, man, because our whole family scammers. That's all they do is just fucking lie and scam all day. That's all they do, and have babies. So I'm like, scammers? He like, yeah. I'm like, man, look, man, I'm talking about a light-skinned lady that got braids. That's what I'm talking about. Nice body, all of that. He was like, light-skinned, got braids? He was like, who, Tish? He was like, man, I wish somebody was up here, man. Man, he was like, look, man, I swear on my goddamn grandkids, she ain't light-skinned. She ain't light-skinned at all. I said, she ain't light-skinned. I said, if she ain't light-skinned, then what is she then? He was like, she's dark-skinned. The whole family's dark-skinned, man. He said, there's probably 2 light-skinned families out in the town where I'm from. Everybody's dark-skinned. I'm like, everybody's dark-skinned? I said, where you live at in Zamunda? So boom. I didn't say that, but still, though, everybody's dark-skinned. I'm like, yo, this dude wild. So he say that, that's kind of throwing me off. I'm like, yo, man. I said, look. I said, chill, man. I said, because what you gonna do? You mess with the tobacco? He was like, you got a cigarette? I was like, nah, but the dude who beat you down, he gonna have him tomorrow. I said, this is what I'm gonna do, man. I said, I'm gonna get him to come holler at you, though. I said, because he need to know what's going on with his peoples, though, man. You know what I mean? I was like, bro in love. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, look, as long as he don't put his hands on me, you gonna be there? I'm like, man, I don't know. My roommate was like, yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. We'll be there. Make sure he don't beat you up, man. I'm looking at my roommate. My roommate like, man, I ain't missing this. I'm like, man, go ahead with that, man. So the old head was like, all right, man. So the old head dude pilled off. Me and my roommate go back up in the cell. We like, yo. Nah, man. I was like, yo, I think old head welling. I was like, old head welling, man. My roommate was like, nah, he ain't welling. He ain't welling, man. He was like, man, your homeboy. He was like, Greg on some Love is Blind shit, man. He was like, man, that nigga don't give a shit, man. He was like, even if she fucking ugly, like, what does it matter? I was like, I started thinking, I'm like, you right. I'm like, because if she turned out to be ugly as hell and don't look like them pictures, man, it don't really matter. It doesn't matter. So boom, it doesn't matter, man. Real talk, we are in the prison. We are in the can. We are in a freaking 2x4 cell, man. We have nowhere to go. What do we care about who the person we talking to on the other end of the phone look like, man, to be honest with you, man? I mean, of course, everybody wants a decent jank, but it don't always work out that way, man. So, like, I'm like, yo, Unc Wellin. I was like, Unc is Wellin. I was like, man, Unc is Wellin, man. I was like, man, that joint crazy. My roommate was like, he's not Wellin, man. That phone we found, that joint is a camera phone, man. He was like, man, she be sending him them pictures. Man, look, man, nah. He need, forget that, bro. Those the wrong pictures. Those the wrong pictures, bro. She don't look like that. Unc said she look like she dark skinned, bro, and she ugly. I'm like, shh. Like, for a person to be ugly and be like trying to con a dude in prison, like, it's wild. But you gotta understand, like, we're like prime shark bait for sharks out on the street. Like, you have women that prey on dudes locked up. You think dudes locked up be preying on women on the street? No. It happens like that too, but a lot of women prey on dudes locked up. Why? Because a lot of dudes locked up, they get into the bag. And when dudes locked up, they be getting to the bag, they never have nowhere to put the bag at. It's up in their pockets, y'all, so boom. So you will have a lady that'll play her role, answer the phone, talk to you when she want to, play with the poo-poo when she want to, all for exchange of paying for bills, sending me big money. Because when we locked up, we don't have a whole lot of options to send money to. Even our family members are buck on the bread. So, like, we don't have a lot of people to send the money to. So, like, when a dude get a girl, he'll rather spoil the girl hoping that she gonna stick around. You know what I mean? So I think this lady just playing her part at the end of the day. So now I'm starting to believe that what Unc is saying is true. And I'm like, you know what, man? I was like, man, for real, I gotta let bro know this ahead of time before he go talk to him. And then that's what it is. So roommate was like, yeah, you should do that, bro. I was like, bet. So I dip out. You know what I mean? I go back to bro cell. He like, yo, I was like, Weezy, bro. He was like, all right, come in. I come in. He get back behind the cut. He was like, hey, baby. Hey, yeah, hey, look. Yeah, it's nice, man. We got a date. Yeah, look. Yeah, man, I got you, man. Look, I love you, man. With all my heart, man. You remember that. I'm sitting behind the cut like, every time I come in here, bro, on some freaking super, I'm in love, goddamn. You know what I mean? I'm like, god damn, bro, like you, bro, super in love, man. That's crazy. I'm like, this is wild, man. So he hang the phone up, he come behind the cut like, he come with a little smirk. He like, I said, yo, look, bro. I said, listen. I said, look, when we get this tobacco tomorrow, I said, you say you're gonna look out for old hair, right? He was like, yeah. He was like, for real though? My girl said she don't know that nigga. You know what I mean? She said she don't know. You know what I mean? So I believe him, like, so, you know what I mean? I feel bad for doing that shit, man. Like, he should just watch his mouth though. He too old to be doing some shit like that, Weezy. I'm like, facts though, bro. But look, I said, listen to me though, man. I said, man, when we go talk to old head tomorrow and you go apologize, I said, I'm gonna be in there, bro. I said, me and my roommate gonna be in there because I promised him that you wasn't gonna attack him. He was like, why would I attack him again? I said, because, man, the man say your girl is not who she say she is on them pictures. Now, I was like, I ain't mean to put your business out there. I said, but you know, I did have your phone when I found it. And I said, I seen her. I seen her on your screen saver. I said, bro, I seen her, bro. She's nice looking, light skinned braids. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah. I said, look, man, Unc say she ain't light skinned, bro. He was like, what? I was like, man, the man say she's not light skinned, man. He was like, no, he welling. I said, bro, listen, bro. The man said she's not light skinned, man. I said, look, this is what we gonna do. He was like, what? I said, bro, because you got to get to the bottom of this. I said, I don't got old head just doing all of this, bro. He was like, man, look, man, that nigga lying, bro. He was like, man, that nigga lying. I know he lying. I said, bro, listen, after we get this pack, I said, when we get this pack tomorrow, I said, the pack a lot tomorrow, right? He was like, yeah, it's coming through tomorrow. Morning time, too. We gonna get it early. I'm like, all right, bet. So look, after we get the tobacco, bro, I said, we gonna look out for old head. I said, I'm gonna pay for it, bro. I said, because, like, I want you to know what you got going on, bro. Like, this is different right here, bro. I rock with you, so I want you to see what's going on. I said, so I'm gonna pay the dude. It was only one dude that was in our pod, man, that had like a touchscreen game. You know what I mean? He had the touchscreen game, and he was the only one that had it. And like, dudes was for real. Dudes didn't even want them joints in the beginning. The big touchscreens, because there was nowhere to hide them joints. So it was like the flip phone was easy to hide. You can take the flip phone with your child and put it in your little pocket right there in the middle. You know what I mean? Get patted down, they don't feel it. You can have it on you outside, wreck. You can have it on you. Like them big joints, dudes were scared of them joints, but there was one dude in the pod that had it, this Muslim dude. He was in the pod, he was from Philly. This is my word. And he be getting jacks. But he'll charge some people, kind of like if you want to look at the porn, certain jumps like that. So I was like, man, look, we got to look out for him. And you need to call her on FaceTime, bro. I was like, bro, it's time, bro. I said, it's time to see what your girl look like, bro, on FaceTime, my nigga. I said, if she buck on the FaceTime, bro, I said, man, look, it ain't right, bro. It ain't right. He was like, man, I been, you know what I mean? I told her, I've been trying to tell her, like, I'm gonna save up and upgrade the phone just so we can do that, bro. I was like, for real, what she say? She was like, nah, she like the flip phone. I was like, go ahead, man. I was like, man, stop. He was like, yeah. She said, keep the flip phone. I was like, yeah, I bet. Keep the flip phone. So now he's starting to like, it started to hit him now, like, you know what I mean? It started to hit him. So I was like, bro, listen, man, we get this tobacco tomorrow, bro. Like, we gotta, you know what I mean? Go see what's up with that, man. You know what I mean? So he was like, bet. So we laid it down for the night. Next morning, roll around, I go to breakfast. By the time we came back from breakfast and came out for the first rec, bro was coming towards my cell already. He came, I jumped. I was like, yo, so I let him in. He was like, bro, what the fuck? Bro, put out a bunch of tobacco. I was like, yes, God. He was like, yeah. Put it on the table. Me and him start gapping the joint. You know what I mean? We getting it right. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, man, shh. Man, I hope she ain't lying to me, man. I said, let me ask you a question. You gonna be mad if she ugly? He was like, well, why would she send me pictures for a year and a half of a light-skinned girl with braids? I'm like, shh, I don't know, bro. Like, she's probably trying to keep you around. What you mean? He was like, man, she ain't had to do that to keep me around, Weezy, man. Like, I'm trying to keep her around. I'm like, yo, bro, but listen, bro. Like, you got women that prey on us too, bro. Like, it's the same thing. So we get the jump right. He was like, man, I'm ready to see what's going on, man. Come on, man. Let's go holler at bro. I'm like, all right, come on. So we get the tobacco. We ain't bag up. We just got it. I had a big ball of tobacco like this on me. That's where I put it in my second pocket, in my sweatpants pocket over my burgundy pants. You know what I mean? We dip out. We go down dude's cell. This is my word. I see bro looking like he mad. He wait, let me do the talking though. I pull up on Philly. I say, yo, look. Man. We'll come in your cell, bro. We need to use the jack, bro. He was like, use the jack? What y'all want to use the jack for? I was like, what you mean? I said, let me talk to you yourself. He like, what's up? We walked in. I pull out that big old bag of Hank. I was like, what's up, man? How much you want, man? I said, my man need to use the junk real quick. FaceTime game. He was like, how long? Hey, who's your man? I was like, man, Greg, man. He was like, he seen Greg standing over there. He was like, I mean, look, bro, give me a cup, bro. I'll let you get it for 30 minutes, bro. Y'all can go to y'all cell, man. I trust you, Weezy. You can take it to your cell for 30 minutes. I'm like, for a cup for $25. I'm like, man, all right, man. It didn't matter. I pulled out a medicine cup, gave him a cup. You know what I mean? He went and got the phone. He gave it to me. Me and bro shoot the steps like bad dudes. We get up the steps, get to my cell, get a joint. I threw it to him. He was like, I use this joint. I was like, I used it once before. Not his joint, another dude's joint. Like, cut it on from the side. Cut it on. You know what I mean? Light came on the joint. He was like, where the numbers at? I was like, yo, bro, go to keypad, bro. Seen the little joints. He was like, psh, hit that joint. He was like, oh. I was like, bro, hit FaceTime on the joint after you dial the number. He was like, joint ringing. Joint ringing. It's trying, it's ringing. You can see it. Like, he like, no answer game. He was like, they open the flip. Hello? Hey, look, that's me calling you on FaceTime, man. Answer the phone. She was like, why? He was like, what you mean, why? Answer the phone. I want to see you. The hell is wrong? She was like, nah, you don't want to see. I look bad, right? He was like, man, listen, ain't gonna be no more money or none of that shit if you lying to me. I don't want to fucking hear this shit, man. Don't fucking lie to me, man. Answer the phone, man. She was like, oh, it's like this. He was like, I promise you I'm gone if you don't answer this phone. I'm calling you on another phone. Answer this shit on FaceTime. He was like, it was a long pause. She was like, I guess she was like, all right. He hang the joint up. Get the phone. He was like, he called her. Joint ring. The joint pick up. Man, I promise y'all, man. I said, as soon as the joint pick up, I did like this. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, I went to look. Man, I promise you, man, this girl look like Kunta Kinte in the face.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes up.